Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me. This is Game God Fluent, bringing you episode 2 of Let's Play Mordheim, City of the Damned. Tutorial version. Not version, but tutorial episode. We're going to try to get through the last two tutorials today. It's mostly, I think, taken up in 2 combat tutorials. I can't skip through these. There we go. So, we'll get to those and have some fun.
Welcome to Mordheim, City of the Damned.
Advanced combat tactics. Let's do it.
Despite the violence of the comet's impact on Mordheim, the Temple of Sigma remained mostly unscathed, and the valiant Sisters of Sigma certainly had a protective influence in keeping the sacred grounds unspoiled. Once again, the Sisters are set to defend the temple.
We don't need to read that.
A new round has started.
Perception of danger. Mordheim is a city rife with danger, from ambushing enemies to deadly traps, which are an extension of the chaos that has spread through the city. Warriors can perform a perception action at the cost of 1 strategy point to highlight threats and interactive objects nearby until the end of their turn. As the warrior moves, new threats and objects in range will be highlighted. The warrior also gains 15% chance to resist triggered trapped effects until next turn. From perception. Do we just avoid it, or can we disarm it? No, just avoid it. Attack again. And parry stance. I think I'm getting the hang of this. Oh, parry fail and killed. Character information panels. A multitude of effects called a buff or debuff can affect your warriors during combat and are listed in an information panel that can be reached by pushing B. You can also access the warrior's resistance info by pushing N, or access the warrior's stats and alternate weapon sets by pressing M. These windows can be hidden or displayed at will and cycled through using left Alt. Information on selected enemies will also be displayed on the right side of the screen. When a warrior uses a skill or a spell that has a duration of 1 turn or more, it will apply a buff, beneficial effect, or a debuff, detrimental effect on the target. The duration of these buffs, debuffs, is based on the skill user's turns and not the target's turn. Should the skill user move up or down in the initiative ladder, it will reduce or extend the duration of applied buffs, debuffs. If the skill user is put out of action, the buffs, debuffs will persist until the moment they would have taken their turn. So if I press Alt... Oh, it just shows that. Oh, that's control. Alt. Quick stats. We've been debuffed. Our resistances are the same. Got a buff of Hero Augur. We have a debuff tiring. +1 OP for each successive attack. Stackable. Debuff of two-handed. After first attack, minus 15% melee damage. And we're withered. A magic effect, -3 strength, agility, toughness, -1 meter movement range. Good to know. Still doing alright. I didn't see what all those effects were. Action wheel. In order to display more information on the skills, spells, and actions available to your warrior, you can open the action wheel by pushing space. A more in-depth description will be available for each action you select, and these actions can be triggered directly from the wheel if you have the target in range. The actions are categorized into sections: actions, active skills, passive skills, spells, stances, and backpack. As they evolve, warriors will be able to train skills which can be used in different situations during combat. Skills are split into 2 categories: passive, which are always in effect, and active, which require a specific target and must be triggered at a cost of strategy or offense points. Based on the warrior's remaining OP and SP, only the usable skills will be available in the cycling menu. Okay, so if I press space, we've got actions: attack. Doesn't look like... Oh, wait. Perception. Do we have active skills? Combat focus. Increases the chance to hit on the next melee attack or attack skill by 20%. Spells. Comet of Sigmar. It's not available. We have a passive. After a successful charge attack, the target's parry or dodge stance is broken. Yeah, let's use combat focus. And then attack. Our percentages went up. Dodge stance. Wait, we still have attack points left. No, we don't. Oh, I guess I have to switch it back to regular attack. Some warriors have perk skills or suffer from ill effects or injuries that trigger automatically at the beginning of their turn. These will always be resolved before the warrior takes its turn and may affect if or how the warrior will play. Stupidity check, fail on self. Impressive warriors. Each warband eventually gains access to an impressive warrior. These champions are extremely powerful, but also have some restrictions. They focus exclusively on battle and therefore cannot search. They will never retreat from a fight and cannot disengage or flee. Some of them cannot leap and can only climb or jump down from small heights due to their physiology. Large impressive warriors cannot enter buildings either. Not all impressive warriors are large. For instance, the Maiden of Sigmar is regular size. So what am I supposed to do? Do I have any skills? Space. Staggering blow. Melee attack that deals regular damage. If hit, the target gains a debuff that reduces initiative by 10 for 1 turn. Spell, Sinful Speech. Prevents spell casting. Stances. We could ambush stance, right? Some warriors can use magic, be it arcane or divine. Spells cost a varying amount of action points, and there's a chance that casting may fizzle and fail. The higher the cost in OP, the higher the chance of failing to cast a spell. When a spell is cast, there's a chance of a reaction occurring which can affect the caster and sometimes even friends and foes nearby. These reactions are mostly harmful, but can also be beneficial. The reactions are known as Tzeentch's Curse or for arcane spells, and Divine Wrath for divine spells. Every time a spell is cast, the caster also suffers from the Mordheim's Curse debuff, which increases the chance of suffering a curse until the next turn. It can be viewed in the buff panel. Comet of Sigmar. And then we can QE through targets. There are none. Yeah. It's very dark. Do I have to turn up brightness? Unworthy. Okay, and that Mordheim's Curse, plus 15% Divine Wrath chance. Oh, stunned is when they're down like that. Points of interest. Many points of interest can be found in the ruins of Mordheim, represented by a pale swirl. Warriors can interact with them at no cost by pressing left mouse while standing on the swirl to loot the items they hold. Interacting with the POI or word stone will commit the warrior's movement. Enemies' carts can also be looted, so can your cart. Warriors who have fallen out of action will become points of interest as well. Fallen enemies can be looted for their equipment, but be mindful not to lose your own. Stunned. Consumables are items with varying effects that can be used only once. They have no requirements to use and can complement your strategy in combat, opening the way for new unforeseen effects. Beneficial consumables can also be used on allies if you stand very close to them. Some consumables have an area of effect and will affect everyone, friend or foe, who stands in or enters the zone. What is your consumable? Oil bomb, healing drought. How about an oil bomb, I guess? It's kind of hard to see. Wait, cancel. How do I get a better view? Am I supposed to go down there? That's a long jump. Dodge stance.
A new round has started.
Action information panel. Actions the active warrior can perform will often be modified by a wide range of skills, buffs, or debuffs affecting you or the selected target. To display more information about what is affecting the selected action, press left control. Changing the active action will update the action information panel. Information in white is based on your own modifiers, and those in red are modifiers originating from the target. This panel can be displayed or hidden at will during your turn. Right, so say I want to, well, it just shows that white text. Go ahead and attack. And parry stance. Very simple. Every action performed or suffered by warriors is kept in the combat log, accessible by pressing L. Pushing this button a second time will expand the window further, while pushing a third time will close it. I like it that big, actually. I guess it's not that important, though. Let's go ahead and attack. That's a tutorial. Very nice. Of course, putting all this into action in the game itself is going to be critical and also challenging. But that's why we play. Let me see if I can adjust the brightness up a little bit. Oh, that's a little too bright. Let's try going to 57. Alright, tutorials. Scenario tactics. Let's go ahead and check it out. I'm gonna light a smoke.
Of Mordheim's denizens, the depraved members of the cult of the possessed, are now under your command. Mutants, crazed humans, dark magisters, and unnameable creatures are unleashed against an unwary group of mercenaries who seek to scavenge in your city. Learn some new tricks and show those pathetic humans how the Shadow Lord treats intruders in the city of Mordheim. A new round has started.
Victory conditions. To achieve victory during a mission, you must force the enemy warband to retreat from the battle before they make you rout. Before leaving the battlefield after a victory, your warriors will be able to scavenge roughly a third of the remaining wordstone and search points. Keep in mind that warbands that retreat from battle keep the loot they manage to secure in their cart or on their warriors who still stand, so not all is lost. Optional objectives can also be completed for extra experience points. Completing these objectives will not end the battle, and the bonus gained is kept even during a rout. Completing all optional objectives and making the enemy rout leads to a decisive victory, which provides extra spoils of war. Not sure I'm clear on that. The objective panel can be displayed during your turn by pressing Tab. Treasures on the battlefield are also tracked on this panel and displayed as followed: 0 out of 0. The first number represents the amount of wordstones you have gathered and search points you have searched. They are not necessarily empty. And the second number represents the total amount of points on the map. Tab. Make the enemy warband round or put them all out of action, okay? Let's go ahead and attack you. And attack again. And dodge stance. All alone tests. When a warrior ends up engaged with 2 or more enemies by itself, it will need to perform an all alone test based on leadership. This test will determine if the warrior stays and fights against the odds or if it turns away and runs for its life. If the test fails, the warrior loses all of its offensive points along with 1 SP. If there is room for the warrior to flee, it will turn and run, providing each engaged enemy a free melee attack if they have melee weapons equipped. If there is no room to flee, the warrior will stay put but loses offense points. When an ally is in an all-alone situation, it can be broken by engaging the extra enemies. As long as the number of engaged warriors is equal, there'll be no all-alone test required. He failed, so he's going to run. And he's going to take 1 hit. Wow. The city of Mordheim is filled with enemies such as demons that have no allegiance and will attack all warbands. Beware of these foes, but remember your enemy's enemies could be your ally until they have none of your enemies left to kill. Counterattack. Plague Bearer. Let's see what active skills he has. None. Spells? None. you get a lot of attacks with an impressive. A 70% dodge stance. Each warband has a morale gauge representing their warband morale pool displayed at the top of the gauge. The morale pool is based on the morale value of each individual warrior added together. Every time a warrior is put out of action, their morale impact value, not to be confused with their morale value, is removed from the morale gauge. If the gauge falls below the threshold amount displayed below the gauge, a leadership test will be taken before the next warrior from the warband plays. The test is taken by the leader regardless of whose turn it is. If the leader's out of action, one of the heroes must take the test. If no leader or heroes can take the test, it's automatically failed. Failing this test will cause the warband to rout and grant victory to the enemy. Some warriors, such as the mercenary ogre or the chaos spawn, will affect their enemies with fear or terror when engaging them. These conditions require a test of leadership to be overcome, or the warrior will become afraid or terrorized. Afraid warriors will have their chance to hit in melee combat reduced, while terrorized warriors will have their maximum offense points and strategy points reduced. These effects last until they are overcome. If the source of it is far away or even dead, as the warrior remains shaken from the experience. Even if the source of it is far away or even dead, they remain shaken. Fear test failed. Idol and prayers. Every warband has an idol religious symbol that grants a temporary buff to warriors that pray near it. This buff increases wordstone resistance and the chance to succeed all alone tests. The higher the rank of the warband, the more powerful the buff will be. Oh wait, we have an idol here. I don't get it. Can we pray? Perception? I don't get it. How do I pray? Oh, interaction. There we go. Confirm pray. Okay. Idle boon, 30% wordstone resistance plus 25% to all. Alone tests. Wait, let's charge him. Fear test self failed. And turn. Some spells, skills, or consumables affect only allies or only enemies, while others, such as Acid Breath or Fireball, will affect everyone in the area of effect. It's important to be careful where and how these abilities are used to avoid unwanted friendly fire effects. An ally falling out of action will lower the morale pool, whether it's been put out by your enemy or your own actions. Weapons of destruction. Let's see what these spells do. Melee attacks bypass 10% armor absorption and melee damage increases by 20%. Acid Breath deals 10 to 20 damage, applies a debuff that reduces armor absorption by 10% for one turn, and deals another 10 to 20 damage on turn start. The idol of each warband is a holy symbol that helps them face the horrors of the city of the damned. Although it does not add to the morale pool, having your idol stolen will lower the warband's morale pool. This could be a valid tactic to force the enemy warband to rout. Should the idol be retrieved and placed back onto the cart, the morale lost will be restored. One of the optional objectives involves stealing the enemy's idol. If you make it to the enemy cart, you can also steal any items they may be storing by interacting with their chest. I did this earlier in the first episode. Where's the interaction? Oh. Pillage. Enemy cart. Confirm. Cluster of word stones. Cluster, 33 gold crowns, and everything else is empty. So V takes all. And warp effect. Where is it? Oh, inventory's full. I can't steal the idol. Is at the end of the warrior retreat. At the beginning of each combat round, warriors that are out of action will leave the battleground. They will retreat with their weapons in hand, but they'll drop their backpack containing all the consumables, gold, word stones, and other loot they have gathered. Should you wish to steal the weapons of a defeated warrior, it's possible to do so, but it must be done again before it regains consciousness and leaves the battlefield. Simply put, you have until the end of the current battle round to steal a fallen warrior's weapons. Be careful, as enemies could steal yours as well. Where is it? This? I don't get it. Whose weapons are we stealing? I don't understand whose weapons we're stealing, but throw an oil bomb.
A new round has started.
Once a battle has started, there's 2 ways to leave. Voluntary rout. This option becomes available when your warband's morale drops below the rout threshold. At this stage, you can retreat, suffering a defeat, but with no additional penalties. Abandoned mission is always available. However, leaving the battlefield is considered an act of cowardice and is frowned upon. Using abandoned mission will let you retreat from battle, but all of your warriors will be considered out of action and suffer the associated consequences. Think twice before choosing this option. Disconnecting during a mission will be considered an abandoned mission. Alright, tutorial complete. Very cool. Getting the hang of it. Let's go ahead and do what's left. Warband management. In this screen, you may hire warriors to bolster your warband. There are 4 types of warriors: leader, hero, impressive, and henchman. Your warband must always have 1 leader and 3 other warriors to take part in the mission, and cannot have more than 10 active warriors at the same time. If you hire an impressive warrior, it will take the place of 2 heroes and reduce the maximum number of active warriors to 9. Be mindful when hiring warriors, since henchmen can be hired into hero slots, but the opposite is not true. After each battle, you must pay upkeep for each warrior that took part in the mission. Unpaid warriors will refuse to join a mission until they are paid. You can also wait to pay their upkeep if you are low on funds, but their fee will accrue interest every day. After 7 days of being unpaid, a warrior will take their equipment and leave the warband forever. While warriors remain unpaid, they cannot be customized, their equipment cannot be modified, and they cannot learn skills or spells. Pretty clever. Pay treatment. When a warrior falls out of action and gains a permanent injury, it will also require a treatment cost. The cost must be paid in the warband management section in order to start the recovery process. An injured warrior has an increasing chance to die every day that treatment is left unpaid. If a warrior dies this way, their equipment will be returned to your inventory. While warriors are recovering, they cannot be customized. Same idea, can't do anything with them while they're recovering. If you feel a warrior no longer has a place in your warband, they could be fired from this screen. A fired warrior will be unequipped with their items before leaving. Take note that you cannot fire an unpaid warrior or one that requires medical treatment. You can only fire warriors that are ready for battle. Warband reserve. Each warband has a reserve for warriors ready to fight but are not in the active warband. These warriors can be helpful when some of your warriors are out of action for several days due to injury or the training of new skills. As long as they do not take part in a mission, these warriors will not require any upkeep. As your warband increases in rank, more reserve and warband slots will become available. Unavailable warriors, due to the following reasons: unpaid upkeep, recovering from an injury or awaiting treatment costs to be paid, training a new skill or spell. Unavailable warriors cannot take part in missions. You can check a warrior's availability status by selecting the warrior in the warband management section. Hired swords. Other than the default rank 0 warriors available to you for hire, you will eventually unlock higher ranked and new types of warriors to join your warband. These are called hired swords. While the default rank 0 warriors are always available for hire, the availability of higher ranked warriors will vary twice per week as the mercenaries come and go. Free hired swords. Several rewards will provide you the opportunity to enlist a hired sword at no charge. Unlike other hired swords, these will never be removed from the list of available warriors until you hire them. Warrior management. Description and injuries. This section displays all the attributes of the selected warrior along with a description, which items it can equip, a list of perks if any, and the maximum amount you can have in your warband per type. These details can help you decide when hiring a warrior since they will impact its gameplay options. The Injuries tab displays the injuries suffered by the warrior during its career adventuring in Mordheim. A warrior's equipment can be changed by selecting a slot to the left of the warrior. A list of items from your inventory that can be used in that slot will be displayed on the right side. You can also browse the store tab to buy items directly from the shops. The slots on the right side of the warrior are for consumable items and can be equipped in the same way. Items of fine, blue, or masterwork purple quality can be enchanted by selecting the enchanting tab once you have found some recipes. Dual wield, two-handed. The different melee weapons types have various effects when equipped on your warriors. One-handed weapon only. Using a single one-handed weapon will increase initiative by 10 and dodge chance by 10% due to an empty hand used for balance. One-handed weapon and shield. Using a shield allows you the use of the parry stance. Two-handed weapon. These weapons have higher damage, but every subsequent attack after the first will apply a tiring debuff on the warrior, increasing the OP cost of melee attacks and skills by 1, and also reducing melee damage dealt by 20%. This effect is stackable and lasts until the warrior's next turn. Dual wielding adds the damage of both weapons together. Like two-handed weapons, every subsequent attack will increase the OP by 1. However, dual wielding also reduces damage dealt by 25%. The damage reduction is applied after all other modifiers. Skill screen allows you to browse and train skills for a warrior. Skills already learned are displayed in the slots at the center of the screen. Slots on the left side of the character for active skills, while on the right are for passives. A warrior can have up to 5 of each. Training skills require skill points, gold, and several days of training time, during which the warrior will be unavailable for missions. The warrior must also meet the attribute requirement for each skill. Available skills are displayed on the right side of the screen and are organized based on the 9 primary attributes. Once a skill has been trained, you can invest in mastery training for the same skill to enhance its effects. Similar to skills, the spell tab displays the available spells the caster can learn. There are no passive spells, only active ones that must be triggered. The spell tab is accessible for warriors who can use magic, be it divine or arcane. Spells require spell points, gold, and training time to learn, and they also have a more powerful mastery version. Biography allows you to rename a warrior as you desire, name and surname in the same box. You may also write a biography for your warrior, but this will only be visible to you in the game. Customization of body parts. Each body part of a warrior can be customized independently. Only a few restrictions apply. If you wear armor, the torso will be locked into the armor type, cloth, light, or heavy, to reflect your equipment for other players. If you wear a helmet, no hats will be available and you'll be locked with the helmet visual. Changes in customization will never affect the attributes of a warrior. For example, an arm customized with heavy armor visuals will offer no extra protection. Colors. Each body part of a warrior can be colored independently using a range of colors for each warband. Bada bing, bada boom. We have campaign and time system. Available missions. The tokens on this map of Mordheim represent possible mission locations. Highlighting a mission token will also display a rough estimate of the amount of word stones and search points available in the area, as well as the relative strength of any opposition you may encounter. The token type represents the different optional objectives for the missions. Scouts. If you're not satisfied with the available missions, you can always hire scouts to seek out new potential mission locations. You can only hire a limited amount of scouts each day at increasing cost. Next day, only one mission can be undertaken per day. Once you've completed a mission, win or lose, you must select the next day option from the main hideout menu in order to prepare for a new mission. Be sure to take care of all your business, paying upkeep and treatment, selling word stones before advancing to the next day. Daily report. Every day you'll receive a summary of events called the Daily Report. It will keep you up to date on all news concerning your warband and faction, such as reminders for shipment due, upkeep, and treatment to pay. Upcoming events. On the campaign menu, there's a list of events for the upcoming days. This also serves as a long-term reminder of important dates. Unique missions. As you spend more time adventuring in Mordheim, your faction leader will sometimes have a special request for you. These unique missions will appear on the campaign map as special tokens. There are no time restrictions for completing these missions, and only one will be requested at a time. Interesting, and there we have it, guys. We're not going to learn about skirmish mode. That's multiplayer. I hope you enjoyed these first 2 episodes of tutorials, but now the real fun begins. Now we're going to choose a warband, and how long have we been playing? 39 minutes. And go ahead and cruise into the game. So I hope you'll join me for that as we start our adventure. We got the hard part out of the way. Now the hard part of the game is coming up. It's going to be a challenging and difficult one, but that's what I like. Hope you guys like it too. See you guys next time then. Thank you for watching. Truly appreciate you all. Much love, peace, and joy. Stay tuned. Much more to come. Bye-bye.